Flywheel. The flywheel is the rotating mass with large moment of inertia connected to the crankshaft of the engine. The purpose of the flywheel is to store energy and furnish a large angular momentum that keeps the engine rotating between the power strokes and smooth out the engine operation. Cylinder head. The cylinder head, it forms the top of the combustion chamber. It contains the inlet and exhaust valves and the valve mechanisms. The passageway for the fuel mixture to move in and out of the engine. Intake and exhaust valve are used to allow the flow into and out of the cylinder at the proper time in the cycle. The most engine uses poppet valves which are spring loaded closed and open by camshaft action. The valves are usually made up of cast metal, plastic or the composite material. The many two-stroke cycle engine have the ports, that means the slots, in the side of the cylinder walls instead of mechanical valves. Camshaft. The camshaft is the rotating shaft uses to push open the valve at the proper time in the engine cycle, either directly or through mechanical or the hydraulic linkage. For example, push rod, rocker arms, and the tappets are used. The most modern automobile engines have one or more camshafts mounted in the engine head known as overhead cam. In four-stroke cycle engine, the camshaft rotates at half engine speed. Timing gears. The timing gears drive the camshaft from the crankshaft by transmitting the power with the help of gear arrangement. Also, it helps to open or close the valves on proper time based on the crankshaft position with 360-degree angle. Spark plug. The spark plug is the electrical device used to initiate the combustion in an SI engine by creating a high voltage discharge spark across an electrode gap as shown in figure. The spark plug is usually made up of metal surrounded with ceramic insulation. Some modern spark plug has built-in pressure sensor that supply one of the input into the engine control. Crankcase. The crankcase is the part of the engine block surrounding the rotating crankshaft. In many engines, the oil pan makes up part of the crankcase housing. In some high-performance engines, the crankcase is designed with windows between the piston buys to allow the free airflow between the buys. This is to reduce the air pressure built up on the backside of the piston during the power and intake strokes. So this is about the components of the IC engine. Let's see the engine related terms. So the following are the terms and the abbreviations are commonly used in the engine technology or the terminology. First one is the top dead center. The top dead center, it denoted by the TDC, where the position of the piston when it stops at the highest point away from the crankshaft. When the piston is at TDC, the volume in the cylinder is a minimum called the clearance volume. Second, bottom dead center. The bottom dead center is known as BDC, is the position of the piston when it stops at the minimum closest to the crankshaft. Third, stroke. The stroke is the movement or the distance of the piston from one extreme position to the other. That means from TDC to BDC or from BDC to TDC. Next, bore. The bore is the diameter of the cylinder or equal to the diameter of the piston face, just only minus a very small clearance provided between the diameter of cylinder and diameter of the piston face. Clearance volume. The clearance volume is the minimum volume in the combustion chamber with piston at TDC, which is denoted by letter capital V suffix C. Swept volume. The swept volume is the volume displaced by the piston as it travels through one stroke known as swept volume. and it denoted by letter capital V suffix S. Last, the total volume, it is nothing but the sum of clearance and the swept volume, which is denoted by letter capital V. So the figure shows a cylinder, piston cylinder mechanism, where this one is the cylinder wall, is the clearance volume present above the top dead center and the cylinder head. These are the walls, inlet wall and the exhaust wall. Through inlet, the air fuel mixture entered the cylinder and the hot gases taken out from the exhaust wall. This is called as the spark plug in case of SI engine, and in case of CI engine it acts as a fuel injector. The distance or the movement between the BDC to TDC is known as a stroke. The position is bottom dead center and this position shows the top dead center. This one is the connecting rod, this one is the piston, and it reciprocates up and down by rotating the crankshaft in circular motion. This is the lower end actions. How the IC engine works. Thank you.